It is impossible to ever be broke again if you learn the skills to get complete strangers across the world to paying you thousands of dollars. What's even crazier than that is you could make this happen even if they just found out about your existence 24 hours ago. I'm going to share with you the things that took my online coaching business from me having an idea in my mom's house to a multi-million-dollar business. I used the same strategies in this video to quit my healthcare job within 5 months, all through getting paid by people who just found out about me on the internet. The first thing to really nail down is getting attention from strangers with trust. There's a million ways to get attention. You can make memes, you can make educational videos. This is why I say trust is the important part. Someone can entertain you, but you may not trust them. The best way to build trust with a complete stranger on the internet is truly proving that you feel their pain. If you can describe someone's problem better than they understand it in their own heads, they will trust that you know what you're talking about. Have you ever unloaded and vented about problems that you had that you knew that person that was listening has not been through? Every response they give you afterward, you take it with a grain of salt because you're like, you don't actually understand. I know you haven't been there. Their word isn't as influential on you as if it were to come from a person you know has been through that situation and problem. So when you can describe somebody else's problems so well, they believe that the only way you would truly know how to describe it that well is if you've been through it yourself or you've helped somebody else fix it. That means their next automatic assumption is that you have some kind of solution to it. Let me rewind. To prove that you have a solution to their problem, you first have to describe their problem so vividly. That's how you get them to trust you know what you're talking about. Once you've described that, the next thing you want to do is create curiosity about your solution. Talk about the parts of your solution, why it works, how it's worked for others. This is all stuff you can do in posting on social media or creating an ad around it. But that's the first goal, is garnering their attention through trust. Reason I keep emphasizing trust is because people buy things from people they trust can fix their problem, not because they like them. Think of how many times you buy things from your friends. Just because you like them doesn't mean you're giving them money. You'd rather pay a stranger that you don't know, but you believe they can fix your issue. If a doctor has won many awards for being the best surgeon, quickest, fastest heal rate, least amount of errors, but he was not someone you would hang out with, would you still hire him? Yes, it's because you trust he can solve your problem. So building trust above all else is what's going to get them to pull out their money and give it to you. Now that you've posted, made ads, and you've gotten their attention, what do you do next? Next, you'll need a way to collect their information in exchange for a free training where you solve their problem. You can create something called a landing page. Landing page is just the first step into your world. So if what we just talked about, building trust, was posts that you made on social media or through an ad, the next thing they should do is click an external link to go to a landing page, which is the first web page they visit. On this page, all it's doing is saying, hey, if you give me your name, email, phone number, I'll give you this free training that solves all these problems. And all these problems should be things that you fix for the perfect client you want to work with. All attention that you garner on social media through ads is all rented space. You want to collect their information so that you can build a list of contacts that you own. Posting on social media, you're at the mercy of the algorithm and they control everything that happens on that platform. Creating an email and phone number list is creating a true asset that you own. That's why you want to collect their info in exchange for that free training. Once they've opted in, given you their info, you now take them to another web page that has that training video. The high level look of this video, you should be explaining in greater detail the problems that they have right now so that they can identify whether it's for them or not. And you're also pulling their emotional heartstrings by, again, creating trust, describing their problem so well. And then you'll want to show a high level look of your solution. The goal of this is to help them understand that your solution is the best and only way to solve the problem that they have. Most of your energy on this video should be spent influencing over teaching. Over teaching is the quickest way to kill a sale. When we talk about adding value, we think that we should just be teaching them step by step what to do. Most of the time, even if they had the information, they're not going to do anything with it until they believe it's what works for them. That's where you should focus most of your energy in this training. Think about it. A step-by-step what to do is like an instruction manual. Before you buy something, do you ever read the instruction manual? Is it interesting to you at all? It's never useful until you've actually bought the product, brought it home. Now you need to put it together. That's like making a purchasing decision from IKEA by reading the instruction manual of how to build the table. Nobody does that. That's not what influences people to buy. They have to buy first, then they care about the instructions. So even if you told them the step-by-step, they're not going to do anything with it. You might as well use that time to better influence them in wanting to making a purchasing decision. Also, people don't listen to you until they've sacrificed something that they care about, like their money. Russell Brunson has the saying, when people pay, they pay attention. And it's true. Think of how many YouTube videos you watched before this and gotten such good information, but you did nothing with it. All you did was continue watching more YouTube videos like this one. People take action once they've invested, put skin into the game. Before that, they won't do anything. So free training video, you talk about their pain, talk about your solution. You've probably heard this strategy before. It's not groundbreaking. It's never the strategy that's new. It's the execution that determines the outcome. Even if you've heard the strategy, webinars, VSLs, there's a right way to do it, there's a wrong way to do it. If me, you, 10 other people were trying out for the lead role of the next Peter Pan, we all have the same script, we're saying the same words in front of the same people, how many people get the role? Just one. And that's based on execution. That one person did it better than the rest of them, they got the gig. It's the same thing with this concept I'm telling you. It's not putting a video training in front of someone isn't new, but how well you execute on that video is going to make the difference between money in your bank account and burning it all. Now that people have watched your training, they're sold, they want to know how to get help, how do you actually get them to pay you? At the end of the video, next thing you want to do is invite them to booking a call with you. On the phone call, you find out what their true problems are and you make your offer. Right off the bat, the most important part about this phone call is that the relationship needs to be that one person is the leader, which is you, and one person is there looking for help. The biggest issue for people who don't know how to handle sales calls is they try to be buddy-buddy and friends with them, and they just get friend-zoned, and people don't buy things from their friends. When you walk into a doctor's office, they ask you, hey, how are you, all this stuff. Then they say, this is what we're gonna do next and run you through the procedure. And if they have a fix, they will diagnose it and give you any prescription that they have. That's the same frame on this call. You don't wanna just be friends with them. You wanna build authority that you're leading and you could help them, but you need to find out more. If you can help them, you'll explain what that looks like. Find out what their problem is. And the biggest, most important part is that you dig. You dig and you find emotions on the true reason why they want to fix their issue. I don't care if you have a I'm going to help you lose weight thing, I'll show you how to play the guitar thing, I'll show you how to make money thing. You have to dig into emotions. Whether it's a business or just an average consumer, the driver behind it is a human and humans are emotional. So don't just ask surface levels like what your goal is. You could ask what the goal is, but then you could ask, why is that goal important to you? What happens if you don't accomplish that goal? How does it affect your family? How does it affect people around you? That's where the juicy stuff is beneath the surface. That's where you evoke emotion. If emotions are the driver, guess what the 5 strongest emotions are that humans feel? Joy, sadness, fear, disgust, and anger. Of those 5, only one of them was positive, joy. The other 4 were negative emotions, which means most of the time on the call, you should be speaking about how you can help them get away from negative emotions. That's what motivates humans more to take action is negative emotions. Help your prospect move away from negative emotions 80% of the time, and 20% of the time you talk about helping them reach their dreams. Problems are current existing situations that they're living right now. Dreams are future-paced. It's easier to feel what you're living today than what you could be living in the future. So if you focus on questions about what they're going through now, what things they want to avoid, how much worse is it going to get if you don't get help, those are the questions you should be asking that pull out more emotions than if you just talk about What would your life look like if you made $1 million? Those are important too, but again, 80-20. After all that, if it's a good fit, this is where you make your offer to where they can buy your service and you can help them. Only if it's a good fit. You have to flex the muscle and know when to say no when you think that your thing is not going to help somebody or you don't want to work with them. Don't pitch every single person with a pulse and a credit card. Human psychology and sales is a very powerful thing. You want to use it for good, not evil. When you explain what you have to offer, always talk about the end result. What does their life look like when they're done working with you? What kind of transformation does that get? How does it affect them and their life? Those are the things you want to focus on. Don't talk about the features and the things you put them through to get there. Here's a prime example. If somebody wants to lose 20 pounds, their life is going to look better because they're not going to have diabetes. They're going to have more energy throughout the day. They're going to see their kids grow up. They're going to live longer. That is an end result. Talking about the pieces to get there is saying, I'm going to help you lift more weights. We're going to jog more. We're going to spend 12 hours in the gym. It's going to take 13 weeks. I will show up with you personally and help you through. Those are all features that they don't care about. What they care about is what they get when they're done. The more emphasis you put on the features, the more they're going to focus on that. Then they're going to see less value. If you focus on the outcome, the more focus they're going to put on that, the perceived value is higher in their mind. Everything that I just explained can make you a lot of money, but it really only is worth it if you have some kind of high ticket offer, meaning something you charge at least like $3,000, $4,000, $10,000 for. If you sell something for $27, this is going to be a lot of time being consumed for selling something so cheap. If you want to learn how to package something that people are happy to pay you thousands of dollars for, I'm going to leave a video right here. Check this video out. If this was helpful, subscribe. If you want my help with helping you grow your coaching business, build out your high ticket offer, do all that stuff, I'm going to leave a link for you to book a call in the description. See you in the next video.